Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to show you how you can quickly run a MongoDB server in a Docker container. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is that we need to download the Docker image for the MongoDB server. Okay, and the command that we need to use to run this is docker pull MongoDB community server, and then we can bring the colon. Now what follows after the colon will be the version of the image that you want to download. Okay, the default is always the latest version or the latest tag. Okay, but if you don't include it, then Docker will actually include that for you as the default tag that you want to download from the Docker repository. Okay, so once you're done, you just press enter. Okay, and then it will download the image from the Docker repo to your local machine. Now because I've done this already, I don't have to do it. Okay, then the next step is that we now need to run the container from the image, and for us to do that, we use the command docker run. Okay, and then we have flags that Docker uses when you are executing the docker run command. We have the dash name, okay, which help us to assign a unique name to our container. So we can call it, let's say, Mongo server or MongoDB server. Then we have the -d, which says that we want to run this as a background process. We have the -p. This helps us to map the port of the container to the port on a local machine. Okay, so the default port for MongoDB is 27017. Okay, so we can map that. We can map the 27017, okay, to our host machine 27017. Okay, but you have to make sure that the port that you are mapping to on your host machine is not used by another application. Okay, the next thing that we need to add is persistence. So by default, Docker containers are ephemeral, which means that they are stateless. So whenever you need to persist data, okay, what you have to do is that either you mount a file system or use name volume. So we use the -v. In our case, we're just going to use a name volume. We call it, let's say, Mongo volume, and the data for MongoDB in the container is stored in -data -db. Okay, so what we are doing is that we are mapping this file path -data -db to Mongo volume, which is a name volume, and it allows us to persist the data. Then the next thing that we can add is, now we can add the image from which we want to run our container from, which is MongoDB/Mongo. Okay, and then we press enter. All right, so let's check to see if our MongoDB server is running. So we write docker ps, and you can see that we have the image with the MongoDB, slash the MongoDB community server. We saw that it was created 12 seconds ago. It's been up 11 seconds, and you can see that we are mapping the port 27017 to 27017 on all interfaces on our local machine, and the name is called Mongo server. Okay, all right, now basically we are done with it. So if you want to stop it, you can just type docker stop, and the name of our container is MongoDB server. and then we wait for it to stop. Okay. All right, so once we type docker ps, which allows us to see all the running containers processes on our local machine, we can see that we no longer have the MongoDB server because we have stopped it. Okay, and when we want to run it again, we can just say docker start MongoDB server, and that's it. We are done. Okay, so basically this is how you can run a MongoDB server in a Docker container. If you have questions, please drop them in the comments below. If you want more videos like this, please subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.